Today I am looking at this indoor watering can. So this is it. It's a watering can. It's used to water your plants or any other type of application that you want a gooseneck style spout to get in and add water to something, or I guess any liquid into something. So I've had this since 2021 and I use it a few times per week to water my plants. So I wanted to give a couple of things I've learned along the way when using this that you might also find useful. So for starters, I liked it because it was really simple. There's no markings. I like the design of it. It's a really decently, like aesthetically pleasing type of watering can. And the reason I wanted it to look something like this is because it's out in the open on display in my living room where I have all my plants like these. So I didn't want any like, ugly watering can. This kind of fits the rest of the style of the things I have in my apartment. So I have a lot of these wooden accents and I have a lot of these white colors and bookshelves and shelves and things like that. So this matched that design aesthetic. So that's why I like this specific version. I also like the gooseneck style of it because sometimes some of my plants are on shelves and it adds some leverage that you can use to water over, in that high shelf, or if they're down low and you need to reach around some sort of bend or ledge, this works really well in allowing you to do that versus like a cup or any type of other watering can might not necessarily have that style. So this is really useful for that practical application. In terms of other things, I really like the wooden handle. It hasn't really degraded so much over the years I've had it. The only wear is really me holding it, gripping it hundreds of times over the years. I haven't washed this at all. So I think if you start washing it, make sure it dries out quickly because I have other types of like wooden utensils and cutting boards and they tend to get mildewy really fast unless they dry very quickly. So keep an eye on that if you want to do any type of washing to this unit itself. The other thing and why I mentioned washing is because I use liquid fertilizer and over time it builds up a lot and you probably could wash this in the sink pretty easily, but I have not and I guess it's pretty embarrassing. But if you have any situation where you're adding stuff to your water for your plants, keep in mind that you probably could wash it out and it's easy to do it with a sponge or a bottle brush or something like that. Or not, you don't have to, it's up to you, it's your watering can. I don't think I would put this in the dishwasher only because of this wooden handle. And like I said, I don't want it to get mildewy or need to replace it because I don't think you can actually replace this handle itself. You probably could if you're handy enough and wanted a DIY project. I personally wouldn't. The can itself is affordable enough where I don't want to have to replace it and I don't think it's something that you need to, honestly. So I think that's it. Oh, so it holds 35 ounces of water and that's important if you know the measurements of the amount of water that you need for your plants. When I'm going around and watering all the plants in my apartment, I usually have a secondary cup of water that I use to refill so that I don't have to go back out. That way I'm refilling all the water once, doing all the watering, it makes it really easy and streamlined. The other thing that's really important is if you're watering really aggressively, when this is filled to the top, water can kind of spill out. So make sure that you're mindful of the angle of the pour when it's fairly full. Obviously, when the water is really low and close to the opening of the spout, you might want to turn it to a steep angle so that the rest of the water comes out. But be really careful of when the water is at the top because I've totally had this happen a few times where you pour and some water comes right at the top. So keep in mind that use case when you're watering all of your plants. But that's it. This is the review. I hope you found this somewhat useful and thanks for watching.